Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. And today we're going to be doing my top games of 2012. Now 2012 has come and left, and in its wake leaving some great games for us to play on our video game systems across the board, whether it be PS3, Xbox, Nintendo Wii, Wii U, PS Vita, the Nintendo 3DS, so on and so forth. And last year I did a top 5 games of 2011. 2011 was a really good year of gaming for me. So this year I decided to expand on it a little bit more and include my top 8 games of 2012. Now mind you, here's a disclaimer. These are the games that I enjoyed. They're my personal picks. Doesn't mean they're necessarily the best games, although you could argue some of them are, but it's really very opinionated based. So if you don't agree with me on this list, that's fine. Everyone has their own little personal list. And actually, I would like you to comment below and tell me what your top games of 2012 were. In addition to that, I am mostly a Nintendo boy. I do have the Xbox and I do play on other systems, but don't be surprised if you don't see Call of Duty Black Ops on here or Black Ops 2, or if you don't see some great PS3 game like what is it? Uncharted 3, is that 2012? I can't even remember. So, again, this is very opinionated. This is very much what I enjoyed the most this year. So we might as well get on it and start with our number 8 pick for 2012's Games of the Year. And that would go for the Nintendo Wii's Last Story. It's kind of ironic that you give the name The Last Story to this game because it really is kind of the last big game for the Nintendo Wii. If you don't count Kirby's collection, but I'm not going to count that. And see, I'm not a big RPG kind of guy. The only real big RPG that I play is Pokemon, and that's about it. And the Mario and Luigi series. But really, I don't really care for RPGs, but there was something about this game that just attracted me to it. Maybe it was the art design, or maybe it was the way that they did combat in the game, or maybe it was the fact that it was supposed to be this long, epic story. Whatever it may have been, something attracted to me to this game, and I picked it up, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Was it cheesy at some points? Yes. Did it not really bring anything too innovative to the system? Yes. Did it not allow you to really switch back and forth between players? Yes. But it had some solid gameplay, a decent story, some fun characters, twists and turns here and there, and a good art direction and graphical direction. On a whole, I enjoyed The Last Story, and it's definitely a game I recommend to people that are curious about the Wii, especially seeing that the Wii U out is now. The Wii U is out now, so the Wii is going down in price. You could probably pick one up for cheap. Coming in at number 7 would be Pokemon Black and White 2. Now, I only have White 2 here. Don't worry, Black 2 is going to be bought and played heavily before Pokemon X and Y come out, or Y and X, whichever one comes first. Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 is a nice return to the Unova region, which is Black and White were one of my favorite Pokemon games. I thought 5th Gen was a solid generation. They mixed enough stuff up in this that it felt fresh and new, while still keeping to that good old-fashioned Pokemon formula. I still haven't gone through every nook and cranny of this game, but it's Pokemon. It's great, it's fun, it's enjoyable. What else do I have to say about that? Moving on to number 6, and this is kind of a cross-the-board kind of game that's on all systems, but I got it for the Wii U, and that would be Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 is part of one of my favorite video game series, which is Assassin's Creed. But see, the thing about Assassin's Creed 3 is that it was a really fun story, but it lacked that solid gameplay that we had in the other series, and that's why it's a little low on this list than some of the other Assassin's Creed games. It really did have a great story, some fun characters, and a few twists here and there, but again, it felt a little half-assed when it came down to the gameplay department, or just the overall side missions and stuff that you can do. The world didn't quite feel as immersive, but I did enjoy Assassin's Creed 3 thoroughly from beginning to end. Next, for the Xbox 360, Resident Evil 6. Now, Resident Evil 6 is again another departure away from your traditional survival horror for Resident Evil. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Resident Evil is making itself its own. It's not staying to any set staple of ideals that people put on Resident Evil. It is doing its own thing, and I have to actually applaud and commemorate that. It's taking survival horror in a different direction and making it more action horror, which is cool. I thought the controls in this were the best in the Resident Evil series. How you can control Leon, Chris, Ada, Jack, Sherry, across the board. They all controlled very well. The story was pretty good, and I really did like the direction of the game's aesthetics. The only problem I had with this game is there was way too many stories going on, and while all of them seemed fun and interesting, it really should have just been one story because they were all a little short, and that story should have been Leon's. But yeah, Resident Evil 6, I don't hate on it like a lot of people do because, I mean, it's better than Resident Evil 5, but it's not quite near the spectacularness that was Resident Evil 4. But it was still fun. So, I enjoyed it. Coming in next, and this is number 4, would be New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo 3DS. And New Super Mario Bros. 2, only fault it had was that it was a little bit of a short game. Fun aesthetics, great gameplay, return to some classic Super Mario power ups and ideas, with the Super Mario 3 world kind of being the blueprint for this game. But in addition to that, it has the coin rush mode and the added gimmick of just keep on getting coins, which is a fun added gimmick to the game. Uh, like I said, it had tight controls. It was overall fun. The only reason why it's a little bit lower on this list is well, it just was too short. You can blast through this game so quickly, it's not even funny, but did enjoy it. My number 3 spot goes to an unlikely contender. Not a lot of people will agree on this, but I did enjoy this game thoroughly, and that would be ZombiU. Now, we were talking about how Resident Evil 6 is a departure to the survival horror kind of genre. This is a return to that survival horror feel. You get this is true survival horror. A lot of people talked about clunky controls. I didn't feel clunky controls here, and even then, you're not Leon S. Kennedy. You're not going to do jumping, spinning, reverse, crescent kicks to knock off zombies' head. You're a regular Joe Blow. That cricket bat's going to be your best friend. You had time management, inventory management, and you always had to be on the edge of your seat because you never know where you could get attacked by a zombie. Sure, one-on-one zombies were pretty weak, but two or more of them, and good luck. ZombiU was a thoroughly enjoyable game with some refreshing elements to it. I really do hope they make a sequel and kind of fix up the few minor flaws that were with this game, but Ubisoft did a great job on this, and I know a lot of critics are kind of bringing down the hammer, but I would dare anyone to pick this up and not enjoy the experience that would come with it. Coming in at number 2 for the Nintendo 3DS would be Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask. I love Professor Layton. I love the puzzles that come with him. Miracle Mask may have been one of the easier games in terms of puzzles, but what this really did is it had a great story to it. It improved on some of the Professor Layton controls and overall world that needed to be fixed with. You use the magnifying glass to search for puzzles, which is really cool. It just added some new aspects to Professor Layton's series, which kind of revitalized, not revitalized, but kind of gave a new feel to it. In addition to this, this ties into the other games very well, and also ties into the movies very well. But it just had a really good story and one of the best stories from the Professor Layton series. I dare say that the first Professor Layton game is still my favorite, Curious Village, but this one was very good. Miracle Mask. It's a great jumping on point for people that never played Professor Layton beforehand. And last on our list, and the number 1 game for me for 2012 would be for the Nintendo Wii U, New Super Mario Bros. U. New Super Mario Bros. U what it does so right is it is a challenging game. It has such tight controls, a great level design, aesthetically beautiful, great power-ups. It's like the Super Mario Brothers world of the Wii U. It did what New Super Mario Brothers U couldn't do. In addition to that, the use of the gamepad for the boost mode, you can break the game with that gamepad. And some of my friends preferred to play with the gamepad rather than play with the actual characters. But overall, it had a lot to offer. Um, I'm gonna go back and play some more of this and play some of the other levels that are in this. But New Super Mario Bros. U, hands down, the best game of 2012 for me. My favorite game for 2012. So the question is this: what games do you have that are your favorite games of 2012? Was it New Super Mario Bros. U, or was it Call of Duty Black Ops 2? Or was it Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask? Or was it Batman Arkham City Armored Edition? I mean, what games did you enjoy the most this year? I'm curious. So either comment below or send a video response. I'd love to hear your opinions. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.